the winds have changed. We in the bubble till now. 'Tis now time to let the bodies bang. Time slows down and heroes emerge to show us the way. However, as always with you on this journey, it's a ball is bay. Your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We're back at it again with our show on the eve of the NBA play-in Game 1. The game is at midnight for all our fans in India, so I hope you do catch it because this game really means something. So it'll be a nice precursor to the NBA playoffs 2020. Additionally, in no uncertain terms, Adam Silver has confirmed that they are seriously looking at the 8-9 play-in tournament as a future change to the NBA, which personally is a nice little bug fix. Speaking of commissioner, I've got with me as always the commish of this pod, someone who devours broccoli as well as pork ribs, and someone who clearly knows the difference between weather and climate, Mr. Vineet Devaya. Vineet, welcome back to the pod. Like you said last week, this is now starting to feel more and more like a real job.
It is feeling like a real job. We are recording pod, daily takes, talk shows, with montage videos. Oh my god!
And watching all of them and listening to all of them. You forgot that part.
Follows are taking too much of our time. And I can only imagine what your life would be if you have more than 300 followers. It would be crazy.
We don't have 300 though.
Hey.
But yes, soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
So that's 20.
Soon we'll have 300 and 350. That's the aim. Okay. We have a special guest with us. Do you want to introduce the guest or don't introduce because I will introduce?
You will introduce.
Just tell me to introduce the guest.
You know your job, bro.
Yes. Our guest tonight is a mucho extraordinary content creator from Kochi. Absolute baller of a person, and he's the owner of the very famous page Straight Out of Kochi. Let's welcome to the pod Deepak. Deepak, thank you so much for joining us. We are very glad that you could make some time
for us. Extremely happy to be here, to be very honest. I always wanted to do this, and I finally found two people with whom I can actually talk serious basketball. So, my pleasure.
Okay. Deepak recently commented on a hashtag Daily Take post where we were discussing who has been the better executive of the year in the NBA in 2019-2020. Is it OKC, Thunders, Sam Presti, or the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri? That's how this episode happened. So, I mean, let's get down to it because I think Deepak, you had some points about you felt, I think you said Masai Ujiri is the guy. So let us start this discussion. We'll let you have the first crack at it so that we can then come in with our points.
So the reason why I picked Masai is because whenever you're giving comparing two people, right? So you need to analyze the present situation and then decide, okay, who has done a better job. You can probably talk about OKC saying there are a lot of draft picks and they might do good in the future. That's a different thing because you have seen how Lakers went up with the draft picks, right? How bad they picked and how bad they have drafted them. But just purely based on the kind of talent Masai has brought in. You talk about Siakam, you talk about Van Vliet, you talk about people whom we haven't heard of, okay? Not in the, when you compare OKC's team right now, they have people who have scored 20 points, 20-10. You have Steven Adams, you have an all-star and Chris Paul, you have Gallinari. These are people who have been in the circle for a long time. And there was no doubt that the coach was good again. But I always believe he was held back because of the way Westbrook was playing. And they always wanted a point guard who had to pass again. And I think that's what the huge difference in OKC's game has come into when you analyze this year's performance in the Western Conference. But if you want me to compare Presti and Masai, any day I'll go with Masai just purely finding talent. And when you talk about a market like Toronto, right? Toronto is like not kind of the market a lot of players want to walk in. It's not a Los Angeles, it's not a San Francisco Bay, it's not a Clippers or a Lakers or a New York Knicks. A lot of players don't want to go there. But with this Kawhi, right? I personally believe they would have won even this year with the same team plus Kawhi. If he didn't go there, I believe they would have won this year also. So that's the reason. Whenever I look at Van Vliet, the way he plays, right, he might fail in one matches, but just man, what a pick is Van Vliet again. There was a day he scored 37 points. You find someone like Van Vliet. But I always I'm a huge Popovich fan, okay? And a lot of people ask me why, because I don't think I've not seen anyone pick talent the way Popovich has done. Okay, imagine going up the draft just to pick Kawhi when none of the whole league was sleeping on him. The whole league was sleeping on him. They didn't realize why they wanted to go up in the draft. They went up in the draft and they picked Kawhi. Okay, a lot of players who have performed extremely, especially with Popovich. So I think Masai any day, because we talk about a lot of draft picks OKC has, but then let's see what they do with this draft picks. And I don't believe the current OKC team is going to go beyond 2 rounds. I think they'll be done and dusted in the second round, or maximum they might go to the second round. I don't think they'll pass the second round. So, but yeah, a great job, because we all thought with PG leaving and with Westbrook leaving, they're not going to be in the even in the top 10. Okay, they might be the last two, but excellent job with the coaching staff, and he has been always been a good coach. Again, I always use it, because I follow a bit of NCAA. Okay, so he was a good coach when he was in the Florida. He was coaching Florida. Okay, but the only issue was Westbrook. Look, he's a huge talent. He's a monster. No one brings intensity as Westbrook does, but then I don't think a lot of system works with a point guard like Westbrook. So yeah, so Masai any day. Just for picking up talent we haven't heard of. IDP, Van Vliet.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Sorry.
So that's the reason why I picked Masai.
Oh, okay. I think there's like a little bit of a lag here and there. Don't worry, cut it out, edit it out.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. We are good audio engineers. Go for it.
More about like how Westbrook is not like
We are not talking about Westbrook. Okay, that's it. You're cut. That's it. You're not talking about. Okay, I'll tell you why I picked. No. I think again, like you said, I think Masai has done a brilliant job, getting people like Anunoby, Fred VanVleet. But I mean, I don't know how like people have this talent of seeing something like something in VanVleet, right? Like he's not the tallest person, not the most skilled, but he has that dog mentality, right? Like he's a bit like Matthew Dellavedova. I don't want to like. He's a bit like Matthew Dellavedova knows what he can do, but he's like, I will do it very well. Like I'll get in my position. I'll be properly. I'll not take any shit. I'll be in the place to take a charge. I'll do all those things because I'm not the tallest person. I can't jump the highest. I can't do all these things. But I'll like call on me at the right moment. I'll be ready. Like the turn that VanVleet's career has taken since the birth of his kid, it's unbelievable. Like from like the whole Raptors team was playing really badly after that game, and then suddenly everyone started playing very well at that right moment. And VanVleet for me was like sort of finals MVP as well. Talk Navati when we had a chat with him, he was also like VanVleet, very like he was there at the right time and did the right things and all of that. But the reason I think that Sam Presti has done a better job is purely because this season I think OKC has exceeded expectations much more than the Raptors. Like in the East, once Kawhi left that East, I don't know. Like we've always had the thing that Western Conference teams have had to play more tough games together. I think the Las Vegas odd makers had given OKC like a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. So mathematically, they had no chance at all. And plus, it's a new season, new teammates. Everyone is new for them. They had a unproven sophomore in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They probably took a risk on Chris Paul's leadership, right? Like Chris Paul is now in a team where there are no other egos. Like Steven Adams is a completely no nonsense, no ego kind of guy, right? Dennis Schroeder, great guy, comes, gives you 15 points, assist. Danilo Gallinari, all he wants to do is like just offense. Brilliant guy, all of very complimentary pieces. So that's the reason why I picked. I thought Sam Presti had done a much better job. I mean, the future part is obviously there, but like this is the same guy who also traded Harden because he didn't want to pay him little extra money. So you always have like great guy, but has done pretty stupid things. So I don't know. But talking about that coach though, I don't know. I think Billy Donovan. The problem with Westbrook is like he's got a really strong will. Like you have to have like a much bigger personality for him to be like subservient to them. Like if he could not be subservient to your Kevin Durant as well, then like you need a really strong coach. And maybe Billy Donovan is more of a I want you to listen to me, but I don't think I can force you to listen to me kind of person. So and Chris Paul is like he's got all his experience bringing his 12, 13 years old experience into the NBA. teaching all these people, and they seem to be having a lot of fun. Like this is almost a little bit of the Phoenix Suns where they had 3 guards, right? Like Isaiah Thomas, Eric Bledsoe, and
Dragic.
was it Goran Dragic? Someone, I don't know.
Dragic.
Dragic was, yeah. You have your Shea, you have your Chris Paul, you have your Dennis Schroeder. It's a little guard heavy sort of thing. So I agree that they may not make it past the second round, but that's the reason why I chose Presti, because I think the Thunder have exceeded expectations a little bit more. Yes, we need. If you will not slander Westbrook in this section, then please go for it.
No. I mean, there's nothing. So I think what Deepak is trying to make, like what his point is that the success of OKC has little to do with the GM, right? It's not like Sam Presti had any other move to do, right? Like when he got Chris Paul and everyone in those pieces, that's all he was getting for Russell. Right?
No, he got those for PG.
No, I mean, whatever. Like whatever pieces he got, it was not like he had any option of getting those pieces. Those are the pieces that fell into his lap when these two people left, and it turns out that
you're talking about it being a trade versus a draft thing.
Yes. So the trade just happened to be good, but he had no control over it. You know, both of them wanted to leave. There was nothing you could do about it, right? And I this with Press, one is obviously Masai won the championship last year, right? So you have to give some credit to that part also, which is like, okay, he was not a part in the running race because it's a regular season award, but you literally won the award by trading for Kawhi Leonard, which is like the most impressive move that I have seen, at least since I've been watching basketball. So, you know, for me, both of those two things, like trading your cornerstone piece to get Kawhi Leonard for 1 year, requires a lot of cojones, you know, and then trusting this second batch of nobodies, you know, honestly, Pascal Siakam and all of these guys are G League players, and that they fit well with Kawhi. You know, I think is not a luck-based thing. It was a calculated move. It was a move that he knew would be unpopular, but had to do it. And he got the rewards. And the Toronto Raptors are number 2 right now in the East, right? And so it's not, you know, being number 2 when you have the Celtics, you have the Sixers, you have the Heat. These are good teams. These are not shitty teams. These are good teams, good basketball teams. And to lose your best player and to still be there, like who else is there in the Raptors? Yes. Like only one superstar. There's nobody. Kyle Lowry, maybe. You know, Siakam really bloomed last year, but he's not really still not in the superstar conversation. To be number 2, you need to have at least one superstar. They don't have that, and they're just like a great team. And I think Masai, this is a great team, but they need that one person that's just going to take them, you know, above. And DeMar DeRozan was not that guy, and so he traded DeMar DeRozan and got Kawhi. And I think that was a great move. So him getting this award has to do mostly with, one is how good he structured this team through through like drafting and getting the players in, and then also making that move to win the championship. So I think both of those two combined. With Presti, it was more like I got these and they turned out to be good. You know, I just got these. Like they were thrown to me because 2 of my top players left.
That's a little contentious. I mean, you
like,
have to trade Go, please go for it.
I just want to add something. Like, I always believe, okay, one of the most important jobs for a GM is to pick outside the 21st picks, okay, outside the draft, the top 20 picks. I think a lot of talent has to go outside the 20 picks. You talk about Pascal Siakam, he's pick number 27. You talk about Anunoby, he's pick number 23, okay. Like they might not have turned into superstars, but right now both of them can be part of any starting five. Not starting five, but Pascal Siakam can start for any team.
Yeah.
Why? Because to understand that talent and pick, okay, you talk about Draymond Green. It was a great pick. You always talk about Jerry West saying that he picked Draymond, right? So I always believe it's a second round picks, okay? And people who does pick well in the second rounds can build the fitting pieces for a team. And you mentioned about Anunoby and you mentioned about Pascal Siakam. They are 27 and 20, pick number 27 and pick number 23. Okay, so I think from the trades he has done, pure genius. That's the only thing I can say about Masai. I think it's a pure genius. And what Vinny said is very valid. Okay, to have the guts to trade your best player to another team and get Kawhi for a year and believing and telling your whole Toronto Raptors, the whole ownership of Toronto Raptors, we have Leonard for a year, we are going to win it. Okay, that takes a lot of guts, and they did it. That's, you probably might read that kind of stories in a storybook. Okay, they can actually do a documentary on that. Okay, if they had a video crew behind them doing the whole process discussion and all, right? That is pure genius. Okay, you have to credit. And maybe 5 years down, we might sit here and say, okay, what OKC did was unbelievable. We might sit here and say that. Okay, but right now, any given day, I think Masai is the dude of all the dudes.
Yeah, no, I mean that's absolutely true. I just didn't think of the Kawhi trade because that was last year, and last year I think everyone was like Masai is the man. I think even New York offered him like a $10 million dollars per year sort of job, and he was smart enough to say no, I'm not going into that.
No one should go to New York.
Okay. I mean, except for the burritos.
But just purely since you mentioned about New York, right? Purely for the game of basketball, New York needs to have a good team. You need to have that crowd cheering in MSG. I think if you go back and you watch stuff on YouTube, right? I think just for the game of basketball NBA and also Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, we need New York to be a good team. I think that's a necessity. I think that is a necessity. New York and MSG has to have a good team. You have to have the whole New Yorkers coming and cheering for a good team there in New York. So I think that'll add more spice to the NBA. So yeah.
Let's talk about the playoffs that's happening.
Yes.
Right. So today is the.
I think today is the last play.
Yes. So I think that we are all convinced that Portland is going to win. So unless something dramatic happens and Portland doesn't win, then this podcast doesn't have to air. But we all are agreeing that Portland is going to talk about the first round matchup between Portland and Lakers, right?
No. I just wanted to say, I think as NBA fans, we should all take $1 each and we should give it to Adam Silver for conducting this beautiful bubble games. I don't think any other or any other sports has managed to conduct it so smoothly. I mean, like they put the bubble in like the worst place possible in Florida, where nobody believes anything, and they managed to get it done. We had some infections, I think, in the first round of testing, but then after that, it has been 0, 0, 0, 0. Everything has been going very smoothly, touch wood. And I think like the entire sports fraternity of the entire world can take an example and take a leaf out of this book. And I mean, I just wanted to say this to Anson because, as always, he's always listening to the pod, as we all. And now,
while we're giving shout-outs to the Spurs dynasty for 23 years of excellence.
Yeah. Hey, last time they missed the playoff, the next year they got Tim Duncan. So
Anyway, so
might have something special.
Deepak, what are your thoughts on the first round matchup between the Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers, who are trailblazing at this point of time? Just the Dame Lillard doing Dame time kind of crazy stuff. I mean, he's the MVP of the bubble. I mean, Devin Booker tried, but no, man, there's nothing like Dame Lillard. I think I was watching old Melo footage yesterday and day before just to get myself, because I like Melo, but I don't think he's like a game changer, and I want to go into this matchup thinking that Portland has a chance and Melo is going to be like that difference maker, and he's going to be like crazy. One game is going to be a Melo game, so I'm trying to convince myself. What do you think? Do you think King James is going to go 4-0? What's your thoughts?
So I want Trailblazers to win, but I think my basketball brain says no chance they're going to win the series. It's going to be Lakers because I went on 2 days back and I was talking about this, okay, because playoff LeBron is different from the regular season LeBron, number one. And just to I've been watching all the Trailblazers matches, and I've never seen a team defend this bad. Literally,
Portland.
For example, yesterday's match, Levert, right? Levert was guarded by Gary Trent Jr., okay? And the ease with which they were playing, okay? And imagine, okay, you have a team where the name of the center, Brooklyn, the dude who blocks every shot, forgot his name.
Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, Allen. Yes, Allen. So Allen, like 12, 14 points to 12 rebounds. I think something on that level. Okay, you're talking a team with Nurkic, and you're talking a team also with Whiteside. Okay, imagine he scored that. So you replace Allen with Anthony Davis, right? He's going to destroy them on the board. Okay, LeBron might probably force Anthony Davis to play inside, and you don't know. And I don't believe there is anyone good enough in Portland to guard LeBron because I think they miss Trevor Ariza for that. Okay, I think that was the only good defender they had, and I felt extremely dejected seeing how bad Gary Trent Jr. was defending Karis LeVert. Okay, and I'm like, dude, like, no, you should not be this easy in the NBA. Okay, you can't be this bad a defender. Perimeter defense sucks. Every position they'll somehow imagine LeBron will drive it, and you are going to attract two defenders. And if you have shooters waiting outside, he will find the open man. All you need is one of the guards to have a good day. You can have a Kyle Kuzma. You can have a. You have a lot of. They have a lot of guards. One has to have a good match. And LeBron and KD, Anthony Davis is going to score their 20-20. So that is guaranteed for sure. I don't think they have the defense. The only way they are going to probably beat them in one or two matches is by outscoring them. And when I say outscoring them, I don't think McCallum is in right physical state to outscore them because I think a fit McCallum along with Lillard would have done something great okay, because I believe it's only because of the Golden State Warriors they haven't qualified for the finals even last year. I think they always have this. I think it's a mental barrier that they can't beat Golden State Warriors. It's not about the talent. So for me, I think I'm going with Lakers 4-1 or 4-2 because playoff LeBron can't be guarded by anyone from Trailblazers. Or else I have to see something extremely surprising the first match of the playoffs where I see, okay, someone is being guarded so well. And I think in terms of defense, right, I always believe, okay, forgot the name of Paul Trailblazers. Did he what is his name? Some Scots, right? What's his name? Trailblazers coach.
Coach Terry Scots.
Yeah, he has always had this. I've never believed in his defense. Okay, never ever believed in a defense. Okay, and the reason why I always rooted for Portland Trailblazers is because I'm an old school guy. I always love players to stay in spite of a lot of teams wanting them. Lillard chose to stay in a market like Portland, so I always want that kind of a loyalty to see success. Because as a fan, that's what I want. As a pure basketball, as a pure sports fan, that's what I want to see. And I think probably next year, if they come down and they bring one or two good defenders, I think they can do pretty well. And Nurkic and all, right? There are a lot of mid jumpers Nurkic is missing. You talk about eight matches in bubble, right? He does a lot of good plays, but then there are a lot of easy shots also he misses. So I don't know, like I want Trailblazers to win, but I don't think my brain says it's not going to go more than 6 matches. Might go 4-1, might go 4-2. That's it. Horrible defense, man. Horrible defense. Like I was screaming at the TV last day, saying like, "This is not like Levert can't score this easily. Either switch, okay, switch the player. At least show me that at least one person in your team can defend this dude. You can't do that, okay. And if you like, I wanted Trailblazers to win, but it's purely because of luck they won the eighth match, okay. Like the last match, it was a clean shot for Levert. Levert missed it, okay. Rather than Trailblazers winning it, I think Brooklyn lost that match. So yeah, so that's my take on the playoffs.
So I mean, I think somehow the NBA has messed up a little bit because this is not the Portland Trailblazers which played in the regular season, right? Like if this Portland Trailblazers played in the regular season, they would have been like a fourth seed or fifth seed or something like that. Yeah. Now, out of the blue, from the 13th, 14th, from that 11th position and all, they've made it here. And this is like the Lakers would have loved to be Memphis Grizzlies, who was an actual 8th seed, instead of a Trailblazers who are like a false positive for the 8th seed. In my opinion, I don't think this Trailblazers team, because throughout the season I think they missed Nurkic, they had missed John Collins, that other guy, and they were playing sort of like a little up and down. It's not really like the kind of game that Portland usually plays, right? Like this is literally almost the same team that played last year, got to the conference finals and were swept out. I agree that with Deepak in that Lakers definitely they have like Anthony Davis has no person who can defend it. Like Anthony Davis could easily go for 35-20 throughout the series. Like, there's nobody who's good enough to take him. Like he can jump out of the building, he can shoot threes, he can stretch it out there, and defense though, like he's a DPOY candidate as well. But I think like Lakers have really played shit. To be very honest, they played shit in the bubble, and the Trailblazers have only been playing well. And the Trailblazers, like I said, like he said, the defense and all, they've given it up. They've kind of hoping that they'll stay close, and then in the clutch, maybe Dame time will take over. They'll go purely off of scoring, which is a very Houston sort of way to do it. That's why, apart that they don't just shoot threes, they have like really good interior defense as well. I think Whiteside is a strong enough player who can do something. Not that he can stop stop AD, but they can do it. The only reason why I think that this will probably go in Portland towards Portland is because Lakers bench, I think, is shit. They have played shit, and they continue to not be like good enough. Like they have their starting five is absolutely top notch, but their bench is I don't know, it's a really bad bench. So in that little moment, whatever build up, whatever momentum they might build up, the bench might just like leak off those points, and again the game will be close. And the close game, it's going to be one of those close games. So I'm sure Lakers is going to win, but it won't be an easy series. So maybe 7 games purely because Dame time. I think it'll go 7.
Who's going to win?
And Lakers did really not need this. I mean, I want to be like a very smart person and say, Trailblazers will win, but I think Lakers will win. I think Lakers should win, man. Like, it'll be horrible. Lakers can't do this. Even though they have like a really bad bench, but they have the best 5 in this series. So
best 5.
They just have to shut down Dame. I think as long as the best starting point. If they shut down Dame, which is what exactly the Warriors used to do. Like the Warriors swept them out last year. The Pelicans swept the Trailblazers out here purely by concentrating on Dame, right? Like the defense was like, no, Dame, we will not let you do what you do. We'll guard you from half point. We'll not give you those easy jumpers. We'll not let you get into a group. And as long as they do that, Lakers should be winning it pretty easy. But if Dame goes off, then 7 games, Lakers should win. Lakers still winning.
Okay.
Okay. We need the. I think what. No. I see. This. There's only so many ways you can cut this piece of meat. I'll ask you about the Clippers Mavericks game, which I think we've talked about initially. Also, Clippers, like a great perimeter defensive team. Absolutely, like you would hate it if you had to switch from Kawhi and then you see Paul George. You switch from there, you see Patrick Beverley. They have very nice defenders everywhere. There's the Morris brother is there for added advantage. Montrezl Harrell is a pretty good defensive guy also. What do you think about them going against the Dallas Mavericks, like the league's best offense according to offensive ratings and things like that? What is your view on that? Because now it's like the best offensive team in the NBA versus, at least in my opinion, the best defensive team.
So, as if you are a follower of the Ball is Bay pod, I love the Kawhi, I love the Claw, I love the Robot. Former Spurs, a protege who we left to blossom as a superstar, because I think he's not fit really in the Spurs system, after with his kind of talents. So we let him go, and now he is blossoming in Los Angeles Clippers. I think as good and as lovely as Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis is, the only team that really plays defense and kind of hangs its hat on defense is the Clippers. When things go tough, that's the thing that they go towards. They don't go towards trying to take crazy 3-pointers. They go towards stifling the opponent with their crazy defense. So I think Luka Doncic will have nothing to do when Kawhi says, okay, now it's time to go defense Kawhi. Someone puts in the enter button on his keypad and he goes into robot Kawhi Leonard, where we all know those legends of him stopping Giannis, stopping LeBron. You name it, he has stopped them. So Luka would probably be totally defenseless. KP without Luka is useless. So I think it's an easy win for the Clippers. I would say I would give them maybe 1, maybe 2. I would say if they play really well, and if Rick Carlisle, who is an amazing coach, he'll come up with something. So I would say 4-2 Clippers.
Deepak, what I want to ask you is, I mean, we know that you love defense. You love the old school style of basketball where it's not like, oh, you score, we'll also score, you score, we'll also score. You want somebody to be like, no, I will not let you score, right? And the Clippers have the personnel to make that happen. And like I said, the Mavericks are at the top of the offensive efficiency chart. Clippers, I'm sure you are also backing the Clippers, but what do you think the Mavericks have to do to win? Is probably what I wanted to answer. Also, one very interesting stat beneath is that even though Mavericks have an amazing offensive rating, they have the league's worst clutch sort of, like in the clutch, they are the worst team to play.
Yeah, they're very bad in that.
Like, so, I mean, even though Rick Carlisle is a great coach and all that, and I kind of agree with that. He's a very good coach. He's very respected. No, but yeah, exactly. So, Deepak, what do you think the Mavericks can do to, upset the Clippers? What is it that they can do?
So I think there has to be a third guy. I want, other than Porzingis or Doncic, I want Tim Hardaway Jr. to have a 20+ match every match of the series. I think if that's happening, I don't think that will happen. That's a different thing. And Seth Curry probably to knock down every free shot he's getting. Let's say he's getting only 5 free shots the whole match. That has to be 15 points, okay? Because what happens is, as you said, okay, Doc Rivers is the coach of the Clippers, and I'm talking about perimeter defense, okay? And Porzingis is not your conventional post where he's going to post up and shoot, okay? He's more of a shooting kind of a new era kind of a player, okay, or a tall player. So the issue while playing with Clippers is that you have even the Harrell guy, okay? You have Montes Harrell coming, and he can even guard the perimeter. He's one of the best perimeter defenders, okay? You have 6'9" in height, and he can guard the perimeter very well. So honestly, I can't give a rational answer on how they win. Probably, the only answer I could find is
Luka.
Okay, I'll say something about Luka. Okay, so Luka always says it's easy to score in NBA compared to the Euro stuff he used to play. He said that it's NBA is more easy when it comes to scoring. Okay, so probably you need to see another Luka in the playoffs, where he's consistently giving you 30 points, 10 assists, a triple-double, and 10 rebounds. And Porzingis giving you not 30 points, 20, 15, 10. You have a third player who's going to give you 20 plus. Then that might happen, okay? And other than that, I don't think there is a third person that team who can actually score like that. So, and because if it was any other team, right, I would have given a chance, because no matter what happens, the Doc Rivers team is going to take defense. Whether you have Pat Beverly, you have the best defender in Kawhi, you have a defender like Paul George, Doc Rivers' team is going to take defense. The same we'd say about Brad Stevens, right? So their team is, no matter what happens, it's going to take defense. And it's going to be tough. And I always believe 3 years down the line, the Mark Cuban Dallas Mavericks franchise is going to do a lot of things in the NBA. But one more fitting piece is necessary for that, other than Luka and Porzingis. So probably that's the time when they're going to blossom into a great team. But I don't know, like, it's basketball, maybe. Like, the problem is if it was just 2 matches, or it was just like probably a away or a home match, you could have had something surprising happen. But it's a 7-match series. So in a 7-match series, I don't think you can have a lot of surprises. Only the best team in, and I'm going with the Clippers. And I said, if at all they have to win, you have to have a third wheel scoring, giving you 20 plus all 7 matches.
The one thing I'll add to this is the one drawback of the Clippers is they've not played their entire roster properly. They've always played with Kawhi sitting, PG sitting, Montrezl Harrell sitting, Lou Williams going to brothels. It's just they've never.
It's not a brothel, man. It's a strip club for chicken wings.
Yes. Anyways, the point being that they've never played with their entire team and the roster, so they don't have all their it's not an efficient team. It's not the San Antonio Spurs where everything is moving and all of that stuff. It's kind of still very rugged. So that could play against them, where they don't really know in clutch situations how to react, what are the plays to run. But I really don't think so because even their second unit is ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous. So what's the guy's name, man? I love that guy, the Deepak Pistons guy, the point guard.
Stanley Johnson, no, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson.
You like Reggie Jackson?
He is killer. If he gets on a streak, he needs one game and he'll win you that game. He's a killer. Reggie Jackson is a killer.
I mean, Reggie Jackson was killer in OKC, but
But the problem with Reggie Jackson is he might go off in one match. He might do exactly the opposite the next match. He can go 5 out of 5. He can go 0 out of 5. That's the problem with Reggie Jackson. That's what I've seen him. Some days he might shoot the lights out. Sometimes he might just keep hitting the rim. Okay, no matter what happens, not going to fall in.
Yes.
And
one game from Reggie Jackson.
But yeah, But I just want to add one more thing, okay? When you talk about playoffs, you talk about great players, you talk about the pressure they can handle, you talk about the crowd, you talk about the traveling team, you talk about the home match, you talk about the away match. The dynamic is completely different here, okay? It's more like a World Cup, FIBA World Cup. You are coming and playing on the same court all 7 matches. So a lot of predictions we sit and do here can only have some rational meaning to it probably after the first round. Then we can probably sit here and analyze what these teams are going to do because it's completely different. You don't have a huge crowd cheering them, okay? It's just a FIBA championship. You have playing on the same court all 7 matches. You don't have a lot of crowd. You can't get big. I believe a lot of LeBron's greatness comes with because he goes along with the crowd. A crowd can pump. You understand? I think
50 years,
that is one thing I'm not sure because I'm not sure like how we can put out a lot of X unless and others we see the first round matchups. It's going to be interesting, and yeah, man, let's see.
I mean,
I would love to see upsets. Okay, I would love to see what Golden State Warriors did back to Dallas Mavericks back in 2007. Okay, I want to see that kind of an upset.
Bad day.
Little AK-47.
The crowd thing, I have a point to make. I think the crowd thing is a very interesting thing because you're right. I think LeBron has never played in an arena where everyone's not going, LeBron, come on, we need you. I think that is a part of like the adrenaline, and I think that's the reason why I think the Lakers have not played that.
I mean, I think it's a part of the basketball. I mean, you call it home court advantage for a reason. Not only does it moralize you, demoralizes the other team. Anytime if you played in front of a little bit of crowd, like even 100 people are there, those 100 people are like on your side, it really pumps up. And LeBron, when he dunks, the 100 people become 200 voices. And I mean, that's a great point. So, and the team which has performed well in spite of not having home, some people screaming their name is the Portland Trailblazers, which is why I think that, like them playing up to a level and Lakers are like, okay, no, it's okay, we'll deal with playoff LeBron. This is not really playoff LeBron time. Like there is no home court advantage for him at all. Like there's nobody even booing him. So that switch he'll have to turn it on at he'll have to figure out how to turn that on.
Which is why I picked.
Now let's
okay. It's got the robots. Why?
Robots don't care about.
Just now I just got a news. Alvin Gentry fired by the Pelicans.
Yeah. He was fired. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like the Pelicans probably want Zion to be a little more on the they want him to be the face of the organization.
Yeah, I think
Gentry is no, he can only play 25 minutes.
So probably 1 week from now or probably 2 months from now, we must do a podcast on how Lava Ball is the only reason why Lonzo Ball was number 2, okay? And why Lakers missed on Jason Tatum, okay? You need to talk about the horrible draft selection.
Crazy. I can't.
There's one more ball in this year's draft as well. So
probably the best.
Pulling up
I think
the
I think I like. He's got the confidence. I think he has more of that confidence than Lonzo. I think LaMelo has little more of the alpha attitude. I don't know. I think Lonzo is a little more differential. He's not that assertive sort of player to have the stuff. Now we have to talk about our guest. He's Vineet and I obviously are huge fans of the videos that you create. Right? I mean, the sound seems fantastic. I mean, your camera angles are on point. the story that you try to tell us. I mean, me and Vinny used to discuss this a lot. Like, why can't we do this thing? And then we're like, one of us is sitting in Mumbai with an IT job, the other is sitting in Luxembourg, so we don't have the choice. But man, the videos that come out straight out of Cochin are absolutely breathtaking. And I think the major, at least for me, I think people are more fans of the story that comes out of these videos, right? Like, it's almost like a documentary every video. Like, even if it's a 5-minute video, or even if it's a 2-minute video, we still see a story. And there's like, I remember those videos where you're talking about the overtime game, the game where the game time 3 was hit after an attempt, and then they stole the ball. And like, it's so fantastic. Like, in India, we don't get to see that. We only see buzzer beaters in the NBA. We don't get to see buzzer beaters where it's a phantom cam, it's a slow motion, and all those things that you do. And can you please share the story of how you fell in love with basketball and how you decided to come up with Straight Out of Kochi? I mean, the name, how you came up with the name also would be, is it just based on the album, or is there a different story to it?
Wait, what album?
The NWA album, Straight Out of Compton.
Oh, Straight
Oh, okay.
Album, yeah. Sort of Compton. And obviously the name is inspired from that. But I think that makes sense to me because the whole basketball journey started in terms of giving back to the game once I came to Kochi. Last 10 years after Kochi, I've gone to work, but I've always made sure that every week I come back to Kochi. So Kochi has definitely been the only reason why you see Straight Out of Kochi, why you see a lot of stuff related to basketball, because I never had a platform where I could do something for the game. Because I said I was born and brought up in a place where the game was an alien to me. Okay, I was not introduced to the game at a very young age. I was just the dude who wanted to see cricket and wanted to play football. That's it. Nothing else. Tennis. Arianna Sanchez Vicario, Steffi Graf, Pete Sampras, Andre Gans, Goran Ivanovic. That was my life. Okay, so it's just confined to tennis and all of this. But Kochi and also my engineering days just completely transformed me, and Straight Out of Kochi makes sense to me because whatever you see on that page is only because I'm in Kochi. It's all straight. Whatever I could do is because I always say you can have a like and a love towards a place. I'm in love with this Kochi, and I always say Kochi is a she, and I'm in love with that she, and that is Kochi for me because I always say I get stressed once in a while and all. So what I do is 1 a.m. in the morning, I'll be going out, I'll be standing. There is a small bridge there next to the open body. I'll just go stand there. The breeze hits your face and you feel good. Okay, you feel lucky for the fact that you are alive for another day, and that's what Kochi is for me. So I think nothing makes more sense than that name, Straight Out of Kochi. A lot of people wanted me to use OUTTA to just go with Straight Out of Compton, but I said Straight Out of Kochi. Let's do it.
Okay.
Just do it the Indian way. Just make it. At least let's have some originality in that outro. Okay, so that's the reason why Straight Out of Kochi. And doing videos, I said like I've been doing it from 2019 actually, but I started doing it on a regular basis from last October. So last October, you have seen the videos. So I have a very close group of 10 to 12 people. Like we are very thick, okay. It's like you both, okay. I'm super thick. Like I'm close to their family. I'm close to everything in their lives. We discuss about everything in our lives. And the one thing which binds us together is basketball, film, and food. These are the three things which we bond on. And one among those group was Ashlyn. He died. He died in such a way that which was unexpected. Because I remember when I came down to Kochi, I stayed in a small room. Okay, you can't imagine I stayed in that room actually. And there are a lot of times I had accidents, had a lot of issues when I was in Kochi, and I actually stayed at his place for almost a year. So my relationship with him was very close. It was bigger than basketball. It was bigger than he was like my younger brother. So one fine day, I remember I was on phone with him at 12:30 a.m. in the morning, and I said, "Go sleep. Tomorrow we have a match, so you need to get proper sleep. We have to play." 12:30 a.m. I'm having that call. He said he's back home. Early morning, 8:30, I get a call saying that he's missing. I go stand next to the place where he actually fell down. It was a canal, so he fell down, and almost for 12 hours I was standing there waiting for his body. After 12 hours, the army came, the navy, they came, and the people from the naval base, they came and took the body. And there was a lot of sadness in that. And to get over that sadness, I wanted a distraction. So that's when I decided I quit my job. October 7th, he died. October 14th or something, I quit my job. I had put my papers a month back. I quit my job and I decided, okay, the only way I can get it off with is probably playing ball or doing. And I was not able to play well because my left knee had a meniscus injury and I was due surgery. So that was not on the cards. So I thought, why not just start doing videos? And I didn't have anyone who would probably help me with this. So I found a guy who knew me through my game in Regional Sports Center. So he was a 20-year-old kid, okay. So who came along with me. He had no understanding of basketball. So I standed next to him. He had a good camera. He had a mirrorless camera. So I told him, this is the way you're supposed to shoot. This is what you're supposed to shoot. This is what basketball is. This is what everything important about. This is what we need. And I'll go sit with him. I'll go sit with him for 3-4 hours. I remember our first mixtape took me a 59 second mixtape took me 6 hours to edit. I was sitting with him 6 hours straight and I had a double back sprain after that because I have to like find the minutest 2 seconds of that one shot and I have to put it in slow motion. So I put so much of detailing into that, and my process of making videos start with me finding a song. So whenever we go for a tournament, we cover a tournament, I always have the song playing in my mind, okay? Then once I have the song playing in my mind, I can easily select the visual. And most importantly, I put some money in my pocket to pay these people. So it's kind of a revenue for these kids, okay? So the whole selecting songs, selecting files, how a mixtape should be, narrating a story, what should be written, everything, that's all comes from my brain. But I have few kids with that. But like they have no understanding of what the game is. But yeah, man, like they have Pranav has been a huge help because Pranav is a huge football fan. Okay, so he understands why I love this game so much because he's same that kind of a football soccer fan. Okay, so dude comes along with you. I'm not paying him a lot, but then yeah, I would say I've spent close to just for making videos. I've spent close to 4 lakhs over the last 2 years just to make videos because I always make sure if I'm going somewhere and shooting something, I'll only do it with the best camera. I'm not going to shoot it on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm only going to take I'm only going to use a Sony Alpha. I'm only going to use a Canon EOS R. Only mirrorless cameras. Only good stuff. If I'm doing content, it has to be good material. Otherwise, I'm not doing content. So that's what. So I always believe even if I'm only able to post 2 videos a month, right? That has to be good. That take some emotion in someone who's watching it. Not be 100 people, but then at least if it's able to take one emotion in your heart, I think that's more than enough for me. And that's how this video, for example, it's lockdown. I will say what my day used to be. I used to wake up at 9 o'clock. I used to take my hard disk. I used to go through at least 100 files. I used to select 12 files. And I used to rename every file. So I'll say how I used to rename files. I used to be like, for example, Moin Bake. You know Moin Bake, right? The Indian player. So I'll be like Moin Bake, comma, 13 to 22 seconds, 13 to 23 seconds, 13 to 16 seconds in slow motion, 50. 16 to 18 seconds, slow motion, 40. So I'll mention how much slow motion in Premiere software, what's the slow motion he has to put in. So now I'll send these files to him and I'll send, if there are 12 files, I'll send 12 voice recordings on WhatsApp. And I'll get the stuff. That's how this video used to work. So I used to put in 3.5, 4 hours to create something because I can't sit with someone and do it, right? And it's because sitting with someone, the football video, I sat with someone and did it in like 3 hours, okay? But yeah, and the beauty of visuals, a lot of that has to do with Pranav because Pranav is only 21, but he has skills with his camera. So it's very difficult to actually shoot moving action. But the way he moves his hand with the camera is very good, okay? And that way I'm actually lucky. But the songs, the feel, the writings, everything, I think I do it because I am so happy doing it. If you ask me what is one thing that makes me happy, I think doing videos is something which makes me happy. So that's how the mixtape, the stories all come into. And in most of my stories, I'm the one who's narrating it. It's not the person in the video who's talking. It'll be me who will be narrating it. So yeah, man, that's how the video thing works. So I had a very big plan of doing a 10 episode stuff on a engineering college team, where I'm going to travel with the whole year. I'm going to do a 10 episode thing. So not just confined to the games, the routine before the game, the whole conversations. I just want it to be very candid, very natural, very authentic. But Corona everything. But yeah, man.
Which team were you planning?
So that's how the video.
Did you have a team in your mind? Like,
yeah, FISAT. Because FISAT has 2 of my guys playing in it. And one guy is exceptionally good. He holds the record for the maximum points scored in a Kerala Basketball Association match, 67 points in one match. So that was his last year, fourth year. Okay. So in a lot of videos of mine, you can see him. He's one with the best action. Okay. So he was going to his last year, fourth year. So I wanted to and they were kind of winning every tournament last year, and they had a better team this year because they had two more players coming in. So I knew they would at least win 6, 7 trophies this year. So I just wanted to document all of it. But then I'm like, what would I say? Yeah, I'm alive. So I should feel blessed. I should not be complaining.
I think I think that's the lesson. We are blessed enough that we can do this next year. The world is not ending, so we can always.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know any Indian basketball team which has like 10 episodes because I would definitely watch it. I'm sure any
I
you said,
want it to be interesting.
Whatever. No, I'm sure it'll be interesting. But I'm saying that when you say that I only want the content to be best, it clearly shows in that all the Instagram videos that Straight Out of Kochi puts out that there is no shortcut. There is no oh, this is not there, so I'll take a shortcut and do it this way. Like well thought out, and that's always like a pleasure to see such dedication and such craft. Like it's not an accident. I'm very sure about that.
One last question about time. I wanted to ask why Manu Ginobili, but if you have
yes. So, what is the deal with this Manu Ginobili love? Please, yeah.
Because I used to love Spurs big time, okay, and I always say whenever they play here, I don't like people who don't pass the game. When you said Kobe, that's my issue with Kobe, okay. So I like people who pass the ball, and I like people who take defense. I like people who are selfless. I was telling someone today, okay, it doesn't matter if you score 6 points. If your team is winning, you're taking 10 rebounds and you're assisting 6 players, right? That's what matters. And I think no one in the NBA has embodied that under that 6-man role as well as Manu Ginobili.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the reasons. I think he is the perfect player for me in terms of a youngster wanting to learn the game. Everyone is not a LeBron. You want to learn the game, you learn from Manu Ginobili. He's perfect. He knows when to shoot. He knows when to drive in. He knows when to dish it outside. He knows how to take defense. He knows how to hype it up. Like pure basketballing plays. I think he's a genius. So I that's why I insisted on. A lot of people suggested me to do LeBron James and Curry and all that, but I only wanted Manu Ginobili there because I was very persistent on wanting Manu Ginobili in that court.
I agree with you.
Plus, he's left-handed, so it looks sexy as well. So that's also a criteria for me. I've got some questions for Deepak because we do this thing with our guests, where we ask them this or that question. Deepak, you ready? We'll ask you like this or this question, so you just tell me whether you this work. All right, let's go for it. Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan for like one basket. You need one basket to win the game. Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan.
Okay. Which player would you pay to watch? Manu Ginobili or James Harden?
Manu Ginobili.
All right. If you had a team and you were looking out for coaches, which coach would you recruit? Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson?
Greg Popovich.
Okay. All right. If you needed a pure shooter on your team, Steph Curry or Klay Thompson?
So I am the world's biggest Klay Thompson fan, but I love Steph Curry.
Oh my God!
So I'm going with Klay because defense. So yeah.
So it's like I'm hearing we need to speak from a different.
People think alike, bro.
Okay. And last question, like one person you could draft: Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant? Ooh.
That's a good question.
I'll go with Kevin Durant.
No. Oh yes, thank you so much, man. Like Deepak, you have no idea. Like we had a great time discussing basketball with you. We would love to have you once again on the show. So we hope you had a fun time as well. And yes, okay. So we need audience, do your like, subscribe, share, all that thing. We need to say bye.
Thanks a lot, Deepak. You've been I've been the biggest fan also. Like always, I always sneakily look at all your videos, and I always send it to Ashwin. Like, why can't
don't steal my answer? Don't steal my answer. Say something else that you like about the Straight Out of Kochi. Don't just answer.
I think
Okay, did you say?
the most important thing is it's original content.